This video is for some of you hardcore guys out there and girls. I was once, I consider myself once, a hardcore person. And perhaps still, I may still be. But hardcore people are going to find what I'm about to say potentially very, very frightening. Very scary. And so, because of that, they don't hear it very often. So if you're really a hardcore person, stick around and listen to this. Because one thing I believe about hardcore people is that they do not run away from the truth. They're hardcore enough to be able to handle the truth. So I'm going to tell you something that's true. And I hope you find a way to deal with it for yourself in some way, besides just blocking it out and running away. And that is, I've been thinking a lot about discipline, and hardcore people talk a lot about discipline. And so did I. There's a place for discipline. Discipline is excellent for personal development, making yourself better. But it's not so great. It's not the greatest thing we can use to get goals accomplished. What gets goals accomplished far more than discipline is love. Loving what you do. If you love what you do, discipline doesn't come into the picture, the frame, too often. Because you don't have to make yourself do something that you love doing. And if you don't love something that you're pursuing, you could still have that thing, but you're going to need a hell of a lot of discipline to get it because you don't love it. You're making yourself, through discipline, do what is necessary to get it, to pay the price, so to speak. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of people that take pride in that they paid the price. And sometimes I think paying the price for them is more important than the goal. Them putting themselves through hell and coming out ahead is actually more important than the goal. I'm talking about a different situation where the goal is the important thing. And it's not some sort of transactional, I'll pay for this and then you give me that. I'll use discipline to make myself do the things that I have to do, and when I get here, you have to give me that thing. That's a transaction. And that's not what I'm talking about. Love does not have anything to do with transactions. It's about loving what you do and loving the thing that you want, loving that goal enough that discipline doesn't really seem to have any useful application because you're already eager to be in love with that thing. You're eager to do anything and everything that gets you closer to that thing that you love, that you desire. And that's hard to hear for tough guys, for hardcore guys. Because they don't want to talk about love or feelings. And I'm not talking about the feeling of romantic love. That's not this either. But it sounds like it is because it's the same word. But it's a different connotation of that word. It's about something inside you that is so driving and such a higher level of drive that you love something in a way where you don't want anything back from it. You can give and give and give and give and give and never keep track about what you're getting back. Well, I'm gonna go through this diet, and then I'm gonna be on the beach in a bikini or a swimsuit, and I'm gonna look good. Well, that's a transaction. You're gonna do the cardio. You're gonna control your diet, and in a response to that, you're going to get a body that you'll be proud of. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying there's anything bad about that at all. That's a wonderful thing. I'm talking about loving the cardio, loving the control of yourself, loving the looking a certain way so much that you don't have to make yourself do it. That discipline becomes a smaller ingredient in the formula. And what the main ingredient in the formula that you're cooking up for yourself is loving the thing so much that it's hardly anything to ask me to go do this or go do that or sacrifice this or sacrifice that. When you love something and you love what you're doing, especially loving working out, loving controlling your diet instead of working out real hard to get muscles to get attention, or dieting real hard to get leaner to get attention, you just love making your own food and dieting and controlling yourself. If you love that, then you'll get all the things that the transactional people are getting through discipline, paying for it, because they deserve it. They paid for it. They should get it. But to you, it's almost an afterthought. Oh yeah, I look good on a beach. I look good in this dress. I look good in shorts. I look good in this tank top. I feel strong. That's nice. But I love working out. I'd work out even if it didn't get me attention and muscles. And I didn't have to post it on Instagram every day that I lifted weights. I bench pressed 225 pounds. I would just do it because I love doing it. And that's a whole different ballgame. And so what I'm talking about here is you hardcore guys like me. I'm one of you. I love discipline and I love being disciplined. And there's a reward in that all by itself. But if it's your only tool, and like your only tool is to break down the door and you don't have a way to go around the door or under the door or over the door or beside the door, or to convince somebody behind the door to open the door for you. Those are lots of other tools. Then every barrier that's stronger than you have to stay outside. Because you only have one tool. You bash and bash and bash with discipline. That's your tool to get what you want, pay the price. And every time you give enough, you can get that thing. The door will open to you. But what happens when the door's too strong for your discipline? When you bash against it and the door doesn't open? That's when it's a good time to think about other tools. That's what this is. It's another tool. It's another way of looking at goals besides discipline. Aside from discipline, I should say. It's about how much do I love doing the things that get me to the goal? Do I love doing cardio? Well, no, but I make myself do it. Good, you're going to have to. Because if you don't love it, then you have to use discipline. Good for you. Problem solved up until the point when you have to do more cardio than you have discipline for. And you're tired and you don't want to go to the gym. You don't have any motivation. You still want the thing. You still want to lose weight. You still want to get in shape. You still want to have abs. But you don't want to go to do cardio today because you don't love doing cardio. In fact, you might hate it. So that's when you employ discipline. But when all your discipline's used out, you don't do cardio. You skip a day. You take a rest. But if you love doing cardio, if you love doing it, you love the process, you're in love with what you do, you don't need discipline. You're already there. You're already working your cardio. You're already doing it. You're already at the gym doing your workout. You're already, because you're in love with it. So think twice about this discipline versus other things. And I just gave you one other thing that might be useful. Thinking about falling in love with the thing that you do rather than doing the thing that you do to get something else. Nothing wrong with that. That's okay. You're paying a price. I'm proud of you. A lot of people won't do that. That's a good thing, but it has limits. And I don't think that love does have limits. You fall in love with something so much, you'll do anything. Think about it. Maybe you can work it in, massage it in, sneak it in. Get it in there some way. Smuggle this idea of loving what you do into your ideas about discipline and hardcore and smashing through the door. If you love it, you don't have to make yourself do it. It's not a chore. It's not work. It's a joy. That's a different way to get to your goals than, Steve Gogginsing it out. He just pounds away. Nothing will stop him. But he's got a lot of discipline. We don't all have that much. So maybe we need another way. I've never found a limit to people that love what they do. I've seen people that have a lot of discipline run out of discipline. And then what? So I think then what is to consider some of these ideas. So thanks for listening. I hope it helps you.